welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. It's been a long time. I feel like I've been away. Been away for some time in Aruba. I'd like to say I've been on holiday, but I haven't. I've only not just been doing the show for a bit, but I'm back in full effect because I'm here with my man Phil. Not my partner Phil, but another Phil, more of a funnier Phil. I'm here with a gentleman by the name of Phil Hume from People First Merseyside. How you doing, Phil?
Hi Chase, how you doing?
I'm good, Phil. I'm doing good because, basically, I've been looking forward to this interview because, I actually saw your show at the Royal Court Theater. Was it in August last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, on your show, you're with my son Jackson. We hear about Jackson all the time, but this was the first time I actually saw Jackson do a stand up for the first time, and that was because he had come to your organization, right? People First, because I believe you were working with another organization called the Comedy Trust.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me what the Comedy Trust was doing at People First Merseyside?
Well, first time round. Comedy Trust came to People First Merseyside to bring forward to do a bit of Comedy Trust in drama, and
They were looking at hate crime, weren't they?
well, that was second time round because we'd done something previous towards the Comedy Trust.
We'll get to that.
So that was second time round, but second time round to do hate crime towards do a drama around hate crime and mainly stand up for ourselves and our rights, and by us having experience by expert by experience. So it went off with a bang.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe we should say a little bit about People First Merseyside. Because as it says on the tin, it's kind of like advocating for people with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
But it's been around for about 35 years, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been, for example, the question that you're asking me. I've been part of People First Merseyside since 2008, and I heard about People First Merseyside in 2005.
Wow.
And how did I hear about People First Merseyside in 2005? Well, People First Merseyside came into where I used to live in a care home in Maghull called Parkhaven Trust, and they came in as a self advocacy group, bringing their experience forward to us as what I was called at that point as a resident in care, and back then. I said to myself, if they can do that, so can I. And I also brought forward to myself, when I move on from Parkhaven Trust, I want to join People First Merseyside. And within my ins and outs of my experience of knowledge around me at that time, I had just finished Huber College doing what I did, and I was asked what am I going to do after college days, and I said that I want to join People First Merseyside, and that's what I did, and from then till now, my confidence has come from strength to strength. My voice has been heard to help people in and around where I live in Sefton to get to their aim of where they need to be. So
Well, we should also say that we don't want to go down the route of negativity. We want to stay as positive as possible, but we're talking about like you're going back years, right? So basically, in the time frame you're talking about is like say like 3 years before the Disability Discrimination Act.
Which
You know,
was like 1995, I think. Yeah.
yeah. So like when you met people first, and you were in the care system, which was a good or bad thing, however way people will look at it, without being negative. But in that aspect is that you were like in a system that you didn't really have like or didn't feel like you had many choices or things to do until that time frame. So when after '95, when you finally like became part of people first, you was able to
Yeah.
be able to do this what you wanted to do.
Well, it was mainly from 1995 onwards
Yeah, but
that
that's what I mean.
people
Exactly.
in and
Yeah.
around and within care or not care,
Yeah.
given the opportunity to spread their wings or learn skills
Exactly.
or have the experience of doing this, that, and the other
Yeah.
without being judged.
Or so called cared for because of the
Yeah.
condition that you're living with. And that's where it's like to find out that you're still involved because it's something that is so passionate to you and ingrained to you that like not only you a director
For
at
the
this
fourth
point.
time.
Well, you know what? Why are you taking my dialogue? I was going to say for the fourth time because you
Yeah.
just going through like a re-election process. It's not like running for president or anything, but yeah, you
Yeah.
for the fourth time,
Yeah.
you were put into this position, and obviously because hey, Phil believes in what he's doing, and and we believe in Phil, and everything, and that's great. Also, there was also the factor that you said like you're from Sefton, but I believe people first was all over the place
Well,
in the early time. It was like Southport and Liverpool.
yeah, you're right. But we are not the only South African group in Merseyside because there are different organisations around the world of England and further afield. Like, for example, People First Australia, New Zealand, Canada.
Wow,
Exactly. And yeah, it's not just
it's like
around.
a brand.
Yeah, it's further. And if going by, yes, I do live in Sefton. And yes, I live in Merseyside. But at the same time, I originally come from Luton,
Wow.
down in Bedfordshire. So I'm from someone down south, and down south there is even People First London,
Wow.
and so around the globe, around the world, we all are. Well, we are a South African group, and we all are South African groups around the world. But we are a South African group around Sefton, and People First Cumbria.
But I guess having all of that widespreadness,
Yeah.
like about 6 years ago, things had taken a huge change, didn't it?
But yeah, well, I would say towards everyone around Sefton and out of Sefton, for people with learning disabilities and autism, I think their confidence has grown, their opportunities have grown, their knowledge been shown, and
Yeah, but
where
that's what I mean. But
where they
all,
live.
that's what I mean. Despite all of the work and
Yeah.
the support that they've been receiving, behind the scenes things have changed because
Yeah.
the funding has stopped. About 6 years ago.
Well, that was in Liverpool.
Yeah.
That was in Liverpool.
Well,
That was a
that's
bit unfortunate. We were really saddened about that. But the funding in Sefton is still running,
Right.
and with the if the Sefton money comes in per year for us to keep us up and alive, and putting bids in to do projects happen, because we have to find fundings to actually do projects. So even before we put in the bid, we have to work and get our script together. Obviously,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that is the nature of these
So
organizations. But what I was trying to get to was that's why, because Sutton had that money, you had to actually merge Liverpool and Southport
yeah,
into Sefton.
well, yeah,
That's what I mean. So that's what I'm trying to say is
yeah,
to keep it going.
yeah.
We had to merge three different regions into one.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's mainly, we do have members from Liverpool,
Yeah.
and we do have members from Sefton, and when putting Liverpool and Sefton together, yes, that's how we got our name, People First Merseyside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we are. We're very popular, further and further afield, and we're well known. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of that, it's like basically, we're also dealing with the changeover of identity around mental health, right? In which I would like you to speak a little bit on because, like, what we're going through is the name game, aren't we? I mean, like now we are calling it neurodiversity. You're a gentleman who's been around for some time. Looking good by the way.
Well, thank you.
Where mental health was kind of like not a good word. It's
No.
like a classification where of being ignored. It's like
I don't think I think it wasn't. I think it was probably also not seen as well. And a little while ago, that now what the importance of mental health and issues around that is now.
and that's where I think where your projects are. It's like getting people to like understand that there's a level of communication around it and everything. And like also, you know, you brought along your project development worker who did not want to come on camera, by the way. Shame and blame. No, no, but no. That you guys got a project called
My mind.
Mind My Mind,
Yeah, yeah.
which sounds great and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about how this project is helping or supporting people around mental health?
Well, come the end of a previous project. Obviously, our members and directors obviously seek into ideas of what people would like to do, blah blah, and which they did. And one big topic that came up that members wanted to make into a project was mental health, and obviously put a name to that mental health project, and we were obviously towards mental health issues, and obviously to bring in a development worker to run that topic. So because there are, or there could be people around within our organisation of People First Merseyside or out of our organisation who lives in the community. They may have anxiety, depression, and other symptoms or
But it's good to be
diagnosis.
able to share
Yeah, yeah,
those situations with one another.
yeah, yeah.
You know, as opposed to like going some one to one with a therapist or whatever. It's good to be able to have like a healing circle, isn't it? You know, to be able to do that. And then with the talent that you've already showcased, well, like, because you, as you pointed out, not just one but two different events that you did with Comedy Trust. You know, that who knows what might come out of this project? Because like, because I was going to get to that now. Like the previous event with Comedy Trust in 2022 was around bereavement, right? And you said that it was you related like a situation with a person named David,
Yeah.
where it's kind of like tell us about that story.
Um, uh, well, we as People First Merseyside, we had a member of People First Merseyside called David Morley, and David Morley uh, was a colleague as well. But unfortunately, one thing that we all, towards people, I must involve all of us, as well as further afield. But at one time within our earlier years, one thing that we all weren't given an opportunity to do was to plan and arrange and make a will for end of life, because we were different,
Yeah,
and we are as equal as anyone in the whole world. So, or we weren't given the information, obviously, to know about it.
yeah,
And probably up until then, because of the situation, we were ignored, avoided, because they thought that we were stupid, which we're not. We have just as much knowledge as anyone out there. So,
or it's that like you needed to be taken care of,
well,
and so those issues are it's out of the scope.
yeah,
It's a misjudgment.
yeah. Well, I think we would, yeah, misjudge. Oh, yeah, but so with the situation of that was to be around the right people and seeing to whatever knowledge of information of knowing how to plan and arrange or funeral directors, being part of a church. I and David were and are part of a church, seeing to the ins and outs, and making sure that David had the best send off ever. That's what happened. And David had the best send off ever. And we actually, as an organisation, shortly after we got funding to make a 5-year project for the David Project, which is diversity and
Diversity and voices in dying.
diversity and voice in dying. We actually made a visit to Llandudno, scatters his ashes, make a fantastic day of it, and him to rest in peace. And that's what we did.
I mean, it sounds fantastic, and I mean, you know, like to like put forth for such a project and the opportunity for people to be able to be in control of their own exit.
That is what that's what people couldn't see what we could have done in the past.
Yeah.
We just weren't given that opportunity. But
Right.
now,
Now times change.
yeah, yeah, and now people with a learning disability can and will plan and arrange their own funeral in the way that they should, and that's what's happened.
So I mean, like speaking of that, because such of a a positive project in place. You guys got a conference coming up.
Yes, and we're
I
all
think it's like June 13th.
yeah we're all so very excited. We worked we worked our socks to the bones, and yes, June the 13th at Holiday Inn in Liverpool. Um, uh, I think if you would like to attend, I think there's a booking line or get in contact with People First Merseyside to make your place and uh, make sure you'll be there.
Well, there'll be like a couple of workshops, a couple
Yeah,
of speakers,
yeah.
and everything. And obviously, for people who are potentially going to be dealing with a bereavement and stuff like that, is probably definitely something that they will feel that is important and powerful to be part of. You know, I mean, like the thing about it is Phil. I mean, before you go, I mean, obviously, what I like to do is to kind of like find a little bit about the person in the chair and stuff, because in talking to you in our pre-interview, there was a lot that was said and stuff. But one of the things was I thought was really fascinating, was that like you were dealing with epilepsy
Oh yeah.
for most of your life,
Well,
but and now
yeah.
no longer.
With everything that I've been talking about, what we've been talking about, um, I, 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 I was diagnosed with epilepsy from the age of 9 till 25 years ago. So the majority of my life, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. Um, uh, for the majority of my life, I've been living in a residential care home around the world, and I came to my third residential care home about 33 years ago, maybe longer, 45, yeah, that long ago, in
Wow.
1979, and I lived in Maghull. And 25 years ago, my epilepsy got out of control. That was 4 years after the ruling for people with learning disability changed, and at that year, I was given the opportunity to learn how to live independently. But at the same time, my epilepsy got out of control. I was given another opportunity to see a surgeon or doctor to try and help or even cure my epilepsy. I was delighted when I was given the opportunity to have a hemispherectomy operation, which could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, touch wood, it was a success. And I was asked 6 months down the line to come back for a checkup, and which I did, although I had to postpone my holiday to Spain.
Uh,
But and so I went for my appointment, and they found that a bone got infected in
yeah.
my head. So as you see, I've got a little dent in my head. Don't care what shape it is, because you know what, people, it cured my epilepsy.
Wow.
And from then till now, I've gone. This is my silver jubilee year of 25 years seizure free, medication free,
Wow.
and if you call it an anniversary or not, I don't know, but I'm also celebrating my 17th year living in the community, living my life the way that I want to run it, and being around the right people and the right care.
Well said. Well said. I mean, I mean, that's a fantastic, positive thing, to end upon. I mean, because it's like, it's those things that it's like being cancer free, isn't it? It's like those things that you're told that, oh, I have this, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it and everything. But here you are, all these many years later. Yeah, well done.
Well, to be honest, probably looking at me now towards 25 years ago, uh, I couldn't do what I can do now 25 years ago,
Wow.
right? And what I can do now, I can do much, much more. I probably don't need as much care support as what I used to need. Yes, I still get support. Don't get me wrong.
Don't
I'm not
turn down
Mr.
that care support.
Perfect,
Don't
but
turn it down.
I can do many things more myself than what I used to in my past. And
Yeah.
I would say towards my past, I would like to thank two past people from my past. Those two people being Sister Margaret Jones and charge nurse Margaret Taylor, because it was those two people from a past care home that uh, gave me this opportunity to learn how to live independently. And if I hadn't have been given this opportunity, I to this day wouldn't be where I am now, but I would still be in care and still have epilepsy. So just a big thank you to those two people from my past, because I'm now in a better place and about and around in and around better people. So thank you.
Well, so like before we go, let's just let people know where, if they're interested in what they heard about, People First and the David Project, especially this conference coming up in June. How can people find People First Merseyside?
Well, we're on the website. Our website is People First Merseyside.
.co.uk.
Yeah.
Well, that I know.
And we would welcome any person to our organisation over 18.
Yeah, and it's free, isn't
And
it?
it's free. And do you know what, guys? Do you know what my little saying is? People First Merseyside has actually changed my life for the better.
There we go.
And I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for People First Merseyside.
Right. You know what? I would have to echo that because, like I said, my son's involvement with People First Merseyside has changed his life dramatically and everything. And started him on a comedy career that hopefully will take care of his dad when his dad needs taken care of. That's me. I'm just going to say that. But first of all, I would like to thank you, Phil, for joining me here as we've made our comeback here to the Condo Studios. You've been listening to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Johnson Lynch, and for now, we out of here.